We are live, baby. Zach, we are back for another UFC card collab. This is not the first time we've done this, just a surprise of some people. Sometimes when they're watching, they'll be like, these guys know what they're talking about. But trust me, we absolutely do know what we're talking about. Sometimes. Zach, what's going on? We have a UFC card collab live, and this is number 39 with our collabs in total. We are going to be doing viewer questions. We're going to be talking about the Cyril Gane and Tom Aspinall fight. We're going to talk about that disappointing result. We're going to see if, Tom Aspinall's lost a little bit of his heavyweight shine after that one. We're also going to be taking a look at the highest selling card for UFC Tops Knockout 2025 to date. Might not be any of a surprise which fighter at the moment is king of the UFC card market. We're also going to be doing the usual agree or disagree. And while we also will be taking a look at a viewer question, Joe's Card Stash has got one in. Got that one a little bit ago. We've been saving this one for a pretty special occasion, and I think today is as special as it gets, Zach. So we're going to be answering Joe's question later on in the show, and then obviously we'll be finishing off with the UFC 321 pay-per-view buys recap. You had a couple of Umar cards that I'm sure the people are pretty excited about to know how those ones went. Obviously, if you are watching, if you are new, do not be shy. Jump into the comments. Zach and I would love to interact with as many people as we can on these lives. That's why we're doing them. So do not be shy throughout the show. Jump in the comments. Let us know what you want us to talk about in future episodes, or just comment on what we are currently talking about. We'd love to hear your guys' takes. We can jump in the comments. We have Down With That. I apologize to Down With That too publicly. This is my public apology. This is my public apology to Down With That. On our previous UFC card collab that we had a viewer question, which was actually one of the better questions we've had, I will admit, asking about the tops, whether they should be involving the coaches for dual autos and even coach of the year cards as part of upcoming releases. That was Down With That's question, not Down Under's question. I was getting my dyslexia was getting a little bit too bad that day. I also said, Zach, I can't believe a lot of people didn't flame me. I was talking about, what did I say? 6'8" or 64.
Oh, terrible, and the math. Hey, you cannot do math, especially live, Damien. It's hard enough whenever you're editing. You cannot do math live.
I watched that one back and I was just like, what was, because I was like, oh, normally I'm pretty good with maths. And I actually normally am pretty good with maths. Want to correct that. 6'8" people are not 64. It's actually 48. But anyway, apologies to Down With That. He had a really good question. I was calling him Down Under because he is Down Under, to be fair. But
technically not wrong.
But yeah, Down With That. We appreciate that. All right. What we are going to get into straight away, Zach, is we're going to be taking a look at the highest selling 2025 Tops Knockout card to date.
I'm excited to see this, Damien, because I haven't really did any market research on Knockout. I opened my box, and there's been so much going on within the UFC card landscape. I've been covering a lot of different stuff. I haven't looked at this at all, so I'm excited to take a look at it with you, see who's at the top, see what kind of cards are selling and what the prices are selling for. So let's do it, man.
Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting because Tops Knockout is only, 2 weeks old, 2 and a bit weeks old, max. And then you were just mentioning, which we're going to talk about at a later date, but we have Finest basically here, if not around the corner for other people. And we all know the shine goes with the new product. So it's going to be interesting to see how Tops Knockout, with such a quick release of the following product, Finest, how it's going to hold, I guess, in the shorter and longer term, because it may get buried within the releases of the upcoming ones. But so far to date, the highest selling card for UFC Tops Knockout 2025 is this card, Zach. It is the Champions Autograph Relic Booklet to 10 Ilia Topuria, listed price of $2,000, sale price of $1,500.
Okay, that's kind of pretty cool, man. I haven't seen that one yet. Yeah,
it's this card right here. What do we think, Zach? I have a few little thoughts about this card, but what are your initial thoughts when you learn about this card being the highest one from Tops 2025 so far? Knockout, sorry.
Let's see. I've never seen this, so you guys are getting the raw, unfiltered live thoughts right now. It looks like I like the image on the left. I like the artwork. Got some nice shine and refraction on the lettering at the bottom. It looks like fighter worn, and fighter worn when it's a canvas. I don't know how a fighter would wear a canvas. So that initially, we have some red flags there, right? But kind of an interesting image on the black and white. Looks like we have a sticker auto here, if that is correct.
Yes.
So yeah, kind of interesting here with the booklet. I'm not surprised that it's Ilya Taporia, right? I mean, he is absolutely red hot right now. The market is just going crazy for Ilya Taporia. So that's not surprising. I would have thought that the highest sale would have been maybe a quad or, you know, something of that nature, not necessarily just a booklet. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, okay. I agree. I think if this, you know, this is where it comes into play. And I think this is where, well, I mean, we're making a mistake thinking that Topps care about the resale value of these cards, because they don't. They just care about the boxes. But even then, so if this had been a specific relic from a UFC event, obviously, yeah, we have the fighter worn canvas there. Maybe he draped himself in it after the match. I'm not sure. But we have the sticker auto paired with that as well. If this had been non-card auto that we have seen from other knockout releases, that would have pumped it up. But we are going to be talking about on-card versus sticker autos in the viewers' questions segment from Joe's Card Stash. But I'm with you. No surprise that this one is that Ilya Taporia, is the highest selling card from 2025 knockout to date. This card, I mean, it's to 10. It is lower serial numbered. It is a non-specific relic, though. Sticker auto. That is what it is, I guess. That's what you're getting here. $1,500. What I want to ask you, Zach, do you think that is a fair price for this card?
So we know, Damien, because we talked about it a few months ago. You could get that El Matador inscription auto for around $1,500. You can also get that. What was it? The Time Is Now out of 2024 Topps Royalty, which is his first auto for about $1,500. Yep. I would much rather get those two cards, but this isn't up 10. It is a nice booklet. Personally, I've never had a booklet. I have some questions about how they display and how they fit into things. So that would be a little weird to kind of figure that out. You know, never having owned one, but I mean, this is a really nice card. I do think it should be up there. Do I think 1,500 is on the higher end? I would probably say yes, but still a really nice card.
All right. And I love how you mentioned about the quad autos before, because this is, from what I could find, is actually the second highest selling card from Topps 2025 knockout. Is this card. Quad auto. Nice. We have Gaethje, we have Dustin Poirier, we have O'Malley, and we have the other second favorite from my PC, Max Holloway. I haven't disclosed the value of this card yet. What do you think this one's sold for?
Okay, so we know 1,500 was the top, so I know it's below 1,500. That's math, Damien. That's how you do math, dude, right there.
These are sticker autos too, I will say.
Sticker autos? You know. Okay, I'm gonna say 1,200 on this. I'm gonna say 12. That's my guess. What do we got?
We've got 903.
Ooh, okay.
$903. So not bad. Not bad. But yeah, this is, I mean, these are probably top four, not top four, sorry. These four fighters here on this card could be arguably in the top 15 favorite or most popular fighters within the UFC of the past 2 or 3 years. So,
oh yeah, I'd even push that more. I'd say within the past 5. I mean, how long has O'Malley been near the top? 4 years, 5 years?
Yeah,
maybe 5.
His name's been relevant for a while, but obviously, getting the belt in 2023. Top. So you could say almost he's been fighting since the pandemic as well. Mm-hmm. Had some good fights in the pandemic, so you could even push that to 5 years if you wanted to.
Yeah, I haven't seen this one either, but I do like the refraction in the just straight in the back. It looks almost like a blue silvery refraction. So this is an interesting card as well as the gold outlines on the signatures. Is this a parallel or is this just a base? Or they were of 25. These were. They may have only had one parallel for this specific quad.
Let me just double check that. What do we got?
Because
this one's to 10.
Oh,
so this
okay.
is the gold.
So, yeah, man. I feel like that price makes sense, in my opinion, around that price tag.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. I think as I said, given the fighters on this card, I think this one appeals to a lot of different people. So I do like this one as well. All right, Zach. See if we've got any new comments. We do have a lot of comments here at the moment. We've got to get through all these.
We gotta answer these, dude.
We have our boy Arthur. Arthur's
he's
been
here.
He's busy. He's busy man, but he's stopped by, so we appreciate it. Let's go. Morning, boys. Was awake at 4 a.m. to get a hobby finest now breakfast with the live. We appreciate you, Arthur, standing by, and let us know. Obviously, keep us up to date how you go with that box, because we'd love to hear how you get on. Hopefully, you get some good cards for your PC, mate.
Yeah, man.
Golden Octagons.
But just before we move on, he was telling me, dude, the shipping that people have to pay internationally, specifically after this weird tariff situation, dude, I feel so bad for any international collectors that want to rip products, because like he got it at a good price, right? At the 179 price tag, but he was telling me the shipping ballooned that like $30-$40. So I was like, oh man, that's just brutal for all the international collectors out there.
Yeah, it is expensive when international folk, we've got it tough when it comes to collecting cards, and even on the singles market, it's pretty limited on what you're going to find here in Australia. For example, for myself, obviously plenty of other countries, I think even Australian probably do it a little bit better than what some of the other more European countries do. Obviously I was in Sweden before, so I had experience there. UFC cards were not even a thing. I know Germany has a bit of a UFC card scene, but when you're talking international, and the percentage extra that you're paying on top of, just whether it be boxes or whether that you want to rip just because you like to do that, or even if you're buying cards for yourself for the PC, or even if you're trying to flip cards as well, it all adds up, it all balloons in. So Golden Octagon, he's here as well. What's up, fellas? I'll be back soon. Can't wait to get back to everything. Golden Octagon's had a busy period in his life. Matt has been moving houses, moving to your state, moving to your area.
The best state in the world, dude, in the entire world. Texas is basically a country. Man.
I already put in my request to get a Zac and Matt live collab. We want to see that in live at person, whether it be at a show or something.
That'd be sick, yeah.
Matty Mac's in the house. No surprise. Matty Mac, good to see you, fellas. We appreciate you stopping by. Matty Mac.
OG.
Is an OG. Arthur's back. Not even on card order. Yeah. He's referring to that Ilya Taporia highest selling card.
Yeah, Arthur. I know Oh, he's here.
Yeah, sorry.
I was going to say, Arthur, you got that finest box. Every now and then they sneak a sticker auto into these products, even though majority are on-card autos. Yeah. So hopefully my box over there, hopefully your box does not have a sticker auto, unless it's a nuke, right? If it's a nuke, I'll take a sticker auto. But yeah, man, it's always surprising when they sneak one of those in there.
It is. It definitely is. And as you said, that can happen. It can happen, especially when we're talking about these international fighters. We're talking about shipping and then things like that before. Yeah. It's which is understandably can be a hassle. MMA cardboard. OG.
He's here, dude.
He's here. This is big. OG in the UFC card space.
I was just talking to Lewis earlier, and this guy just got a really nice card, man. He's the 1-of-1 king. He's out here just sniping these 1-of-1s left and right, man. Doing a really this guy's he's got some things figured out, man. He's got a really nice collection growing.
Even I've learned this. I learned this pretty early on, obviously speaking with Eric, UFC card father, and people alike just on Instagram. These guys like Lewis, who has been around since the dawn of UFC cards, these guys are 5 steps ahead of everyone else in terms of their collection. So, and that's to be fair for them. They've been in it since day one. So
they got all the mistakes out years ago, man, years and years ago.
Yeah, and they've been around to see it all, so they know what's around and what is what's collectible. So those guys have got it figured out. Down with that. AKA Down Under. Does the US have no Movember, or Zac got a side hustle 70s movie making job we don't know about? Zac, you want to answer that one?
I cannot confirm or deny the 70s movie making job, but I can tell you.
He is a fireman.
Yeah, but we do have Movember. This is so when I was not in the fire service, I would just do no shave November. I love having a beard. That's like my default setting is having a beard. So this is all I can grow now in this career. I do it every November. My wife hates it towards the end, but I love it and it's fun.
That's the main thing, mate. CT MMA. You've been away, mate. I haven't seen you. I love CT.
Hey, he's coming back strong, though. He's coming back
He is
strong.
coming. I love CT's takes. CT is the man, as you can see with his profile pic there also. CT, good to have you back, mate. Arthur as well, getting back in. It's okay, boys, because I'm going to pull the 101 Max Holloway moment signed 300. Yeah. And then you're going to send it to me. You're going to gift me that for Christmas.
You got to believe
world's
it.
going to be right. And the world
starts up
right
here,
again.
Dude. You got to believe before
yes.
you achieve. So I like that mindset.
Arthur knows this. You need to visualize before you can achieve. CY Omen. New one. Zach.
Oh, yeah. He's been
what up, man?
He's in I believe you're in San Antonio as well. You might be able to confirm that. So you're over there with Matt and the Golden Octagon.
Oh,
you're in Austin too. You're in you're over near me, dude. So welcome.
Yep. So CYM, what up, man? I took the day off and brought my son to Austin for some shopping. Texas is the greatest. What are you picking up?
Yeah.
Let us know what you're picking up, man.
Maybe he's stopping in at some card shops.
Maybe. Golden Octagon, I take the stickers over my 2 autos from Finest.
That's a sneak peek. That's a sneak peek right there.
Peek. No more spoilers from Golden Octagon. People got to go over and watch his video. This isn't a swimming pool.
Is that a reference to
how fitting? Another one.
Yeah. I feel like
how fitting.
I feel like I've seen some comments on Instagram. It's, you know how it is with Instagram and YouTube. Sometimes people's names are different, but
not always same handles. Yeah.
But the picture's the same. So that looks familiar to me.
Yep. How fitting. Laugh my ass off default setting. Not sure what that's in reference to, but
to my,
you're having a good time.
Beard. To my
to your beard.
I came out of the womb with the beard.
CTMA. Yes, sir, from CYM. And then we have Skizik. Skizik is, I believe, on the European side. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe SB Live here. Sup, guys?
What's up, dude?
Awesome to see you, man. And we'll quickly get CYM in clothes and sneakers shopping. My son is 22. He likes all the cool vintage shops in Austin. There you go.
That's up your alley, man. As a thrifter, I bet you.
It is.
You need that.
Come over and
you need to come to the city and come check out all these shops, dude.
Come do some thrifting with you and Matt from Golden Octagon. All right, Zach. The other thing I wanted to talk on for what's news is this.
Oh my. Oh my.
What happened, Zach? Tom Aspinall felt like he was the man of the heavyweight division. He was the future of the heavyweight division. And now he's copping all sorts of slack after this eye poke in the Cyril Gane fight just recently from the UFC 321 main event. Zach, is all this fallout from this? And now he's even talking about leaving the UFC. His dad's talking about professional boxing. What's going on here, mate? Feels like the Tom Aspinall train has lost a few wheels and it's starting to wobble on the UFC heavyweight trajectory track. What do you think? Are we seeing a bit of a downslide for the hype of Tom Aspinall?
Yeah, man, this is like now the outside stuff that I want to do boxing, the like if my buddy was, gonna fight, I'd let him win. That stuff to me is like somewhat normal. We've heard that before. We've seen that before once these guys get to the top and they've been there for a while. But the hate that Aspinall is getting from the eye poke, I mean, again, we've seen things like this before, so I can't necessarily say that I'm surprised, but I am surprised that it was this much heat for this specific situation, right? And it was kind of funny because that event was pretty fun up until that point. And then that was a total loss for not just Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane, but also for the UFC. That was a disastrous ending to that main event, man. But I do think in the short term, I think this definitely takes some shine off of Aspinall, right? I mean, how can it not? You're seeing people in the comments dogging on him a lot, right or wrong. That's what a lot of people are doing. I think that the reaction from the fans is very much like based off of emotion and not really based in like reality or in facts at all. I mean, he got poked in the eye, man. Now, did he ham it up a little? Who knows? But he didn't do anything wrong. He got fouled. So I really feel for Aspinall. I also really feel for Cyril, man. He seems like a good guy. His only 2 losses are to Jones and to Ngannou. He looked great in that fight until it ended. And like to see how gutted he was by that reaction, feel very bad for him. This was just such a bad scenario for both guys, man. How did you react to all this?
Yeah, I felt the same. I think the sentiment, as you said, like the fallout in terms of the MMA community, we've spoken about this before.
Yeah, dude.
Like remove, I think people who are in here collecting cards were a little bit more, I guess, sensible in terms of just our reactions to when events happen, and sometimes things that like this is fighting, guys. People need to remember, like things can happen, and the fallout in terms of the brutality of people just jumping on saying that he quit is just ridiculous. Like we're talking about the premier heavyweight of the UFC at the moment. He does have the belt on his waist still. And to think that people are saying that he quit is just, yeah, like, as I said, definitely an overreaction of a lot of fans. It is very, but in saying that too, like you touched on it, obviously very, very disappointing, not only for both of these fighters, but the UFC as an organization, because this was a big fight for them. Heavyweight division is always, it's always got a big spotlight on it in any sort of combat sports. So to have this fight finish like that, as it did, is, yeah, it's not good for anyone, including, the UFC as an organization. So I can understand where there was some disappointment with the fans. Fans want blood no matter what normally.
Yeah.
Except if it's eye poke.
They don't want eye poke blood.
Yeah. But yeah, like this could have been this could have went 5 rounds, and it could have been a snooze fest, what some people would have called a snooze. And people complain either way. And to be poked in the eye, and whether you're not Tom Aspinall, you're not his 2 eyeballs, you're not to know of how bad it was or whether it could continue. But you can't blame a man for getting fouled and not want to continue in a brutal sport that is MMA.
And Damien,
especially, yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, especially with something you're talking about eyesight. You're talking about the reaction of split second reaction that you are getting from that process of sight. So it's not something to be played with. It's not something, as I said, it's very, very disappointing. But I mean, they're going to run this back, I could only assume, early 2026. And then once they run it back, we'll get a definite result.
Yep.
And we'll be back to where we should have been after this event. So it's unfortunate, but this is the sport that we all love, and sometimes these things happen.
Yeah. So we had basically did you see the Kevin Holland fight where he had 2 bad groin strikes in a row, and he went the full 5 minutes and still kind of was like hesitant, but ended up continuing to fight in that, and he fought okay, but Mike Malott ended up beating him. So we kind of have seen both of those where either you can grit it out, and like the fans, I guess maybe they like that you kept going, but like he ended up losing. So how does that affect your career? With Aspinall, he's a champion. If he keeps going, okay, the fans like that. But then if you lose, it's like a lose-lose situation because you lost your belt, and then the fans may not even care that you gritted through that eye poke. But I will say, if you like both of these fighters, if you are a fan of Tom Aspinall, if you're a fan of Cyril Gane, or you just want to prospect on Cyril Gane, I do think buying right now is a good opportunity. Both guys have to be having a slight market dip in either volume or in upper end prices. So like that is definitely something that you could take advantage of. Whenever people are greedy, be fearful. And whenever people are fearful, be greedy. I think that's Warren Buffett who said that, who's like a really definitely big investor.
Warren Buffett.
Yeah. So like there is something to be said about that.
Yep. No, definitely good add-on points. And I 100% agree. All right. It's time now for our viewer questions, Zach. And we have a good one. We have one from UFC card royalty. Joe from Joe's Card Stash was blowing up there on the YouTube there for a bit. Made some really, really good videos, high production videos. On a bit of a hiatus at the moment. Hopefully Joe is watching. We'll get to some comments before we get to his question because we've had a fair few of these as well.
Nice. The people are having fun today.
Blowing up. Golden Octagon, save all the Tommy for D. He's talking about the Tommy for your mommy, Tommy Hilfinger. That's what I'll be buying. Golden Octagon knows all about that. Seth Conley, I'm new but have been in the shadows watching a bit. What up, guys? We got an odd sheet for finest yet. Well, thank you for stopping by, Seth. We appreciate it, mate. We this is exactly what we want. We want the people who have been watching for a little bit, haven't really had the chance for whatever reason to sort of interact. So we're here for you. Appreciate you sending in this one. And Zach, I'll let you answer this about the odd sheet.
Yes, I looked. What was it? What time is it? It's about 3:20 here. I looked about 3 hours ago. We had no 2025 Topps Finest odd sheet. And if you have not emailed them, go open a tab with my channel. Go like 2 videos back. I have the support email that you can email Topps and complain about this. We have to let them know that this needs to come out. And the only way they're going to change is if we raise a stink about it and let them know this is a problem, right? So please email Topps specifically and say, we need the odd sheet. Now, if they release it on like today on release day, okay, it's not great. I'd like it before to actually know what's in this product, but at least we would have it somewhat in a reasonable time. We still don't have the 2025 Topps Midnight odd sheet either. So I have no faith that they will release this anytime soon, and we have to blast them in the emails.
Yep, completely agree. And that's a good way, good little tip for people, because you need to vote with your voice or with your wallet for these big companies, because otherwise they're going to continue on the trajectory they are. And if you're wanting these odd sheets, like I'm sure Zach does, I'm sure Seth does, and a lot of other UFC collectors, let them know. As I said, let them know with an email at least. CT, another one for you, Zach. You can choose whether you want to answer this right here, right now, or you want to take it up on a future collab. It's up. The floor is yours, mate. You choose.
This is going to be a pretty quick answer here. I respect what Conor McGregor has done for the UFC. Where his legacy is and how influential he's been in the growth of the sport, in the growth of the UFC. But the dude's legacy long term is not very impressive, man. And maybe that's a hot topic. If it's a hot take, I can make a video just destroying Conor McGregor's legacy in regards to other greats. He is I would say he's maybe. Is he in the 30s, dude? He might be in the 30s on my legacy list. Maybe probably low 20s. But like he has not. He was a trailblazer, but when you really get down to it and you look at the accolades, I don't know, man. So I hate to do that to Conor. He's a great, very influential figure, and I do want to give him his respect in that regard. But that's why he's not on my wall of fame, because of how his values, because he commands a huge premium, and I don't think his value to legacy matches up very well, in my opinion.
All right, there you go. Very good answer.
So sorry, CT. I bet we're probably on opposite ends on now.
Yeah, this is going to might get a bit of a comment war going on here soon. But Skizik, when Aljo started talking, it made me laugh.
Oh, about the eye poke, probably. Yeah, that was. Yeah. You got to know your audience, man. Or maybe he did that. He might have actually did that on purpose for engagement. He's not. I don't know. He's not a dumb guy.
I don't know. Some of the stuff he says, I feel like the literally like the hypocrisy that you get from Aljo sometimes. I feel like. Yeah.
He's got a blind spot.
Back at UFC 294, I think O'Malley left some of his brains on the canvas on that one, but he says some dumb stuff. Down with that, he still is. I yell at the TV every week with people's fingers pointing at eyes and the ref doing nothing. I blame the UFC. Could have been fixed years ago. Great point. But down with that, we have Trevor Whitman and his glove design that basically curls the fingers around enough. You're still able to grapple, but doesn't allow for a straight palm. Yeah. It's a good point from down with that. And I'm just got a little bit frustrated because he's so correct.
Oh, I was like, what happened? Is the stream's down again? It would not be the first
time. No, we're killing it. We're 30 minutes in without a technical difficulty. I think this
So
is a
far, so
record for us.
good. Yeah.
So don't jinx it. Yeah.
Yeah. Knock on wood.
Arthur getting in there. All 3 French fighters coming from Paris MMA Factory. Lomas, Imamov, Garn, average around 2 fouls per fight in UFC. French are dirty fighters. I'm French, by the way. That being said, Tom quit.
Oh, come on, dude. Come on.
Damn.
That's hilarious, though. I mean, hey, you would know. Being a Frenchman, you would know if you're dirty or not, dude. And I appreciate the honesty there.
Is John Jones French too? Or?
Yeah, he's French as well.
CTMMA, Tom Aspinall just created a new term for parents of children. Don't Aspinall us kids, tell the truth.
Dang, dude. See, we're seeing it firsthand, man. Aspinall's getting it hard.
Oh, man. I like that one. That's brutal. Skizik, I mean, Cyril does it in every fight and got warned twice before it happened. At least he felt the consequence. Yeah, good point. Definitely a good point there by Skizik. Tom quit. Tom quit. All doctors agree from Abu Dhabi to the UK.
9 out of 10 doctors recommend that Tom Aspinall quit.
Yeah. Down with that. Fingers pointed at the eyes is 100% a way to keep strikers from coming in, and it's 100% on purpose. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, whenever like in Muay Thai, you trained a little bit of Muay Thai, Damien, like you do kind of like you do techniques kind of like this whenever you're throwing kicks. Very rarely are your hands like clenched whenever you're doing that. And when you're blocking, you're kind of like this. And you do see it quite a bit where people are, whenever they're going backwards, their hands kind of open up a little bit. Now to open up and go forward is kind of weird, but from what I can remember, Cyril Gane did kind of have like almost like hands like this. It wasn't necessarily pointed forward like a poke. It was more almost like a frame. And then I think it swiped down. So like, did he do it on purpose? I don't know. But that is a thing that can happen when you are like doing martial arts and you are actually making fighting movements. So was it on purpose?
Yeah.
It definitely could have been. But to me, it kind of looked accidental.
Yeah. I think those people like Cyril Gane and obviously John Jones, definitely those fighters who are especially are like striking at range typically are keeping that range, because if you know anything about striking, figuring out your range and then using it to your advantage with your opponent is a massive part of any striking martial art. So Gane with his style, a little bit more side on, obviously, putting out that hand there, gauging his gauging his range. Sorry. It's a part of his fight style. Yeah, what do you do to combat that in terms of, I think the only way to do it, like down with that, like you have to have
take that point away.
That point away. And then not only that, have like the UFC as an organization, because they should be learning from this, the amount of eye pokes that the sport gets and how it can affect the cards, especially this one, more notable of recent. They can be sort of help saving the sport and help saving the disappointment by making at least some adjustments to the gloves. Tom's karma kickback, Waldo beating his trainman partner with one eye when Tom still had two eyes.
That was crazy, man, because it was like that was almost like a poetry or like a poetic. The world could feel what was happening with that eye poke, and then Waldo Cortez did like the exact opposite. He got poked bad. He kept going. And then this was actually the guy that Tom had mentioned. Like if my buddy gets to a title shot, it was this guy that ended up getting KO'd. He's like, I would step down and let him. So that was a weird, like the world could feel what was happening there.
Yeah, definitely a bit of karma.
Mm-hmm.
Skizik, it also made a statement pointing to Jones better not use his fingers. Yeah, that's why John Jones was so keen to get back that Aspinall fight.
Right? He's like, he's got weak eyes.
he's got the method of victory. And it puts pressure on Tom, right? If he's to, get eye poked again and then, not continue, there could be a bit of pride and ego in making him want to continue. CT, Tom's, we just had that one. CT, replay alert, CTMMA, Tom Aspinall just created a new term for parents. Don't Aspinall. Musical Medicine TV, Box Alarm and Buckeye. How's it going, fellas? Where's
What's
the Buckeye come into it?
I don't know. Maybe that's a new nickname for you, dude. You're the
Maybe.
Buckeye.
Sounds
Ohio
cool.
State Buckeye.
Skizzy. He is not a great, to be honest. Oh,
I don't know who are we talking about? Who are we talking about?
we might be talking about Aspinall there. I think Jim Miller had a good take some of their purse and it will stop. Yeah, Jim Miller's been saying that for ages. We've got Hamzat, Chilmiev. Damien, thoughts on Marwan Rahiki? Seems to have a lot of hype from the Anzac fans. I'm not going to lie. I do not know who Marwan Rahiki is. So
what's the Anzac fans? I don't know who that is either.
Anzac. So Anzac is the Australian NZ, the military men from World War One, fighting Gallipoli, known as the Anzacs, Australia, New Zealand, when we saved Great Britain on the front line.
Oh wow, okay.
Motor Breath Blake. It's been a while. Good to see you, mate. Remember when the UFC changed gloves recently to help stop eye pokes and Bones Jones refused to wear them? What a surprise. Yeah. Had those gold gloves there for a little bit.
Hey, to be fair, they took them away very quickly. So I don't know what happened with that. That was such a weird deal, man. Like they were, what was it, 6 months? They were around for like 3 to 6 months and they just immediately pulled them.
Not even that long. I think they were literally around for 3 or 4 events. And then it came up to the Stipe Jones fight. And literally they changed it back to they were trying to blame it on the lack of KOs and TKOs, saying that there was something to do with, there was some statistic on that as well. There was a drop in KOs and TKOs since with the new gloves, but all of us true UFC fans know it was John Jones having a whinge to Dana. Down with that. Last comment on fingers. Look at what DC did to Stipe after fighting John, then look what Stipe did to DC in the second fight. Tom needs to do the same and come out and poke Kane in the eye straight away.
Dude, we're finding a theme. This is a heavyweight theme. I totally forgot about the Stipe DC eye pokes. There was a lot in that double when they fought too.
Yeah, the Captain Insano.
Yeah, right. That's a great
water boy eye poke. Yeah. All right.
Some good interaction with the fans today, man. I love this. This is what lives are all about, guys. Thank you for coming in and watching.
We might not even get time to make through it all the segments, but it doesn't matter because we are here to talk to the people, so we can always continue another time. Yep. But this question definitely deserved some attention. Joe's Card Stash. Hey, you legends. Love all the content. I watch everything you guys put out. Appreciate that, Joe. I've got a question for your next collab. Do you think Topps putting on-card autos in every product is actually detrimental to certain products? For example, last year I was super excited because Knockout had on-card autos. For those of you who are a little bit newer, I wasn't around last year. Topps Knockout 2024 was the first release with on-card autos for Topps product for 2024. Chrome, Midnight, all having sticker autos before that. So that's what he's referring to there. But now every product has on-card auto, so Knockout just isn't as appealing. Do you guys think it would be better for the hobby if lower-end products have sticker autos and higher-end products have on-card autos, thus justifying the higher prices for higher-end products? Zach, we both love our on-card autos. We know Joe's Card Stash does as well. We know plenty of other UFC card collectors do. What are your thoughts on Joe's take here about potentially limiting the run of on-card autos and keeping the lower end products to sticker autos and having, maybe later on in the year getting those on-card autos in specific higher end products? What do you take?
I do think it's an interesting idea to keep the on-card autos away from the lower end products. And I mean, like to be honest, we haven't even had a product this year that I would consider like lower end. So like, I guess you'd kind of have to nail in like, what does that mean? How many are we talking Topps Finest and Topps Chrome don't have on-card autos? Like, that I think I would need kind of some specifics on like what type of plan we're moving forward with here. But I think just like broad and generally, I was kind of asking myself, because this is an interesting question, because this is basically the first time that we're seeing that with last year in 2024 and now, because even back in the early and middling tops days, there were a lot of sticker autos. Like this is the most
Yeah.
on-card autos we've ever seen. And so I was asking myself, and Damien, I'd love to hear your answer to this. Like, what would you rather have? Would you rather have on-card autos or sticker? What would you rather have? If I gave you a card, if I gave you a card and said on card or sticker, what would you?
This is a perfect setup for our agree to disagree coming up after this, but it's got to be on card autos. There's no question.
All right, so I agree. So I would rather have an on card auto, and where I came with this was like, while it is true that if you have less on card autos and if you have more stickers, then the product that does have on card autos is going to get a bump, right? And maybe even those specific cards that are on card are going to also get a bump because basic supply and demand for the year of 2025. If we only have one product that has on card autos and I'm a collector and I say, oh, I want to have an on card auto for 2025, that's the product that you're going to look at. But if I then, take the other stance and I'm a collector, if there are multiple on card autos, I now have the chance to choose the best design with the on card auto. And for me, I like having the option to potentially get the card that I really like more with an on-card auto. So I would prefer how we have had it this year, where there are many different on-card autos. Again, take a shot of water when you hear on-card auto. Going to be a lot of those. So I would rather have it like it is now, where we see many different releases with on-cards, and not even to mention, people are getting or are able to buy in and get on-cards. Where like with Panini, we basically had Immaculate, which was a much higher price point. That prices out specific people for potentially ripping and getting, on-card autos. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I like your take. And the first thing I want to sort of, I guess, put a spotlight on is what it made me think of. I think this question is very much in relation to how you collect, right? And why the reason is that you collect. I myself, I've spoke about this before. I like to collect things that I feel have some sort of scarcity or rarity to them. That's just how I surround my whole collection. And that is what is going to influence because I have that sort of philosophy when it comes to collecting things. Of course, I do prefer on-card autos. I think everyone does. I'm not sure how many people would prefer to say, no, I want a sticker auto of my favorite fighter. I think I would, as I said, be
almost everyone, right? Yeah.
Everyone, right? But because I like that, because most people like that, because of my philosophy of wanting scarcity or rarity, that makes me just intentionally prefer to have it limited. So because I want this on-card auto, if there's, regardless of the design or not, that's a little bit less of importance to me, more so than what rarity is. So if there was 5 on-card autos to choose from Max Holloway this year, for example, regardless of the design, I'm going to be sort of less, I guess, motivated to be getting any of those cards, because I'm sort of feeling like, oh, well, there's 5 inserts. 5.
So what about, like, because I understand what you're saying, but let's say rookie autos, because that's going to be a much fewer pool, and then it's still going to be somewhat lower supply. So if there was, let's say we have 10 releases this year, 10 is the easy number, and 8 of them are on-card autos. So let's say they have, depending on that, it's still going to have a lower supply. And then based on the on-card auto, you can always go to a lower parallel that has, basically a low supply, if that is what you're worried about.
Yeah. But then same thing too, then it's a little bit like you're having too much of a good thing, especially when you want to be talking about rookie autos. Like you have that Habib first on-card auto, his first ever auto was on card. And I feel like the prevalence of that card is so special because that was his only on-card auto for that year, for example. So I think and I feel like this is what Joe's getting at too. It's almost like too much of a good thing, and it's diluting, I guess, the desirability to some people, including myself. Yes, even especially with rookie cards, if you're getting 10 on-card autos, as you suggested, for a single year, I feel like the desirability and the collectability of, if that fighter had only had 2 on-card autos for that year and the rest were stickers, yes, you are drawing a line in terms of what the buy-in price may be for some collectors. Like, they're going to be able to get in at cheaper for the sticker autos, but then you're allowing for these people like myself who desire scarcity, knowing there's only 2 on-card rookie autos for that fighter, it limits the pool a lot more and makes it, I guess, more desirable, which I think is only a good thing. So I actually, while I do respect, as I said, and understand your point of view in that you are getting a lot more collector choice, you are getting a lot more, I guess,
a better product.
Yeah, you're getting a better.
This is a problem of riches to me. I'm eating steak every day. I'm tired of steak. That's what this is to me, and that is kind of a silly way to look at it, in my opinion. Because if you're saying I just want one product that has on-card autos, the rest of the products are not as good. So to me, that it's kind of, while I understand and it does make sense, it's kind of silly to say I would rather have that than I would rather have better products throughout the year.
Yeah, but as I said, I think that's what, like my first point, I think that comes down to your philosophy on collecting instead, because everyone's going to have a different point of view. I definitely, as I said, I feel like if you're having 6 products throughout the year, have half of them. I think if you want to, put a general rule of thumb, 50% of releases are the on-card autos and the other 50% are sticker autos. Let us know in the comments, people. I think we're going to have a fair few comments on this one, what your guys' takes are on this.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe. Very good question. Joe, let us know in the comments when you're rewatching this one back. And what do we got here? Oh, wow. We have a lot to get through. Kamzat, fair enough. He is the Aussie Moroccan fighter who had a great comeback fight on Dana White's Contender Series, and I see all the Australian MMA content creators hyping him up. Okay, very cool. I didn't know that. I actually don't have the Fight Pass or anything, so I only have KO Sports here in Australia, and they don't actually show the Dana White's Contender Series on that platform. They only just have the fight night. So
could have a new hometown hero. New hometown hero for you and down with that.
I do appreciate you letting me know. I'll definitely have to check that out on YouTube. That could be fun. So thank you for that recommendation. CT Damon, you have been validated a John Jones Leaf trading card sold for 6,000. So non-licensed MMA cards count.
Hey, I never said unlicensed MMA cards did not count. If he's referring to when we had that like debate about unlicensed versus licensed.
Yeah, when we were talking about the Tapori one actually. Comes out. I'm sure he'll make his debut in Sydney in Feb. Yeah, maybe that'll be. I'm actually really excited.
You're gonna go to that, dude?
Stay tuned. But yeah, yeah. There's a lot of exciting things I think coming up at the start of 2026 for the UFC in particular. I think there's a lot of big fights which we're going to talk about a little bit too. But if we get time,
I don't think we're going to get to it, man. This is perfect. This is better.
Skizzy, Joe's such a nice guy. Referring to Joe's card stash, and he definitely is.
He's the man, dude.
And give some event use relics and patches in the high end and stuff. Yeah, good add-on point too there. Specific relics. Zach, you want to argue about specific relics too, mate?
I got nothing to argue about that. I think we're everybody's in agreement on that.
Yeah, and I think Tops are going to do it. I feel like we're banging on about it. They know we watched it. We know that they were watching our stuff, so they're gonna make it happen. I like the idea of taking a point from the fighters for eye pokes and nut strikes. Yeah. I feel like the first, depending on how it happens, which I guess this is where the gray area is, right, of the sport. But I think definitely one warning can be fair, but anything after that, it should be a point for sure.
See, this is why I had an issue with Jim Miller's take because of this exact thing, right? Not all eye pokes are the same, and not all groin strikes are the same. They can definitely be accidental, and they can definitely be very minor. How many times have we seen a guy get like that? He's like, I'm good. I'm fine. So should that guy get a point taken away? I don't think so. The incidental groin strikes whenever you're doing an inside leg kick, I don't necessarily think, those should be taken away depending on how hard it was. If it was fine, should we be taking a point? So it's kind of to me, I like having the referee discretion and the referee making the decision. So that's kind of where I am in that, is that I want the ref to determine, has it happened already? Like you're saying, was it a warning, immediate point? If it's the first time or if it's not that bad, like to me, they shouldn't necessarily get a point because that's a huge take. Losing that round is almost always going to be the scenario for a point getting taken away. And in a 3-round fight, that's huge. So like, it's tough, man. It's a tough problem that, they're going to have to figure out eventually.
Yeah. All right. we'll go back up to, man, we are getting pumped with comments.
Love it, dude. Great. Love it.
Go back up to CYOM. On card, but I'm okay with sticker 2. I should be lower end for the stickers. And this is a good point to what you were saying too, Zach. We technically haven't had a lower end product for UFC yet. Like whether I don't know what's going to happen with Stadium Club, of course, looking like on card autos from
yeah, right.
We've seen. But yeah, man, just make $100 hobby box for the people. And then if they're sticker autos, they're sticker autos.
I'd love $100 box, man. That would be sick.
Down with that. How about 25 and under on card and above sticker? What do you think, Zach?
What do you think he means by that?
I think he's saying the parallels. So you would have.
Oh, I actually like that. That would be pretty cool. That's actually a good medium. I do like having products that are like kind of across the board. Actually, that's another thing. Whenever we get on card, Damien, I don't know. This might be a good thing to do a deep dive on, but I want to say whenever I'm doing these checklist videos, the products that have on cards generally have less volume of these autos. There's usually almost all numbered because you actually have a fighter sitting there doing all that. They're not going to make them sign, 600 base autos. Again, I'd have to double check that, but I kind of want to say that's the general feel from most of these products that are on card is that they generally are less on the print run for the autos.
Yeah, which is a good thing as well. But definitely a good idea with down with that. I mean, I don't know why Topps haven't hired him already because he's got all the answers. I don't have Disney. Yeah, he's saying Dana White's Contender Series is on Disney. I don't have Disney.
Come on, dude. How are you watching Pocahontas and Lion King?
I'm too busy watching Netflix and YouTube. Watching Box Alarm Trading all day. CTMMA, Damien, Zach, Aspinall versus Gun 2. Who you're betting on if given a free $5K to place a bet on that fight?
Who you got? If it's we'll say it's odds. We'll say it's
exactly it's got to be money. It's got to be money line.
Yeah.
It's got to be like. I'm going. I can't go against Aspinall. I just can't.
Dude, I'm going gone after seeing that. I'm gonna go Cyril. I'll put 5K on it. If it's free, who cares if I lose, right? I'm gonna go 5K on Cyril. And we're split. We're split on that. I love it.
We're split on that. CT, who you got? CYOM. I see Topps bringing back the relics and auto combos of older year. It's already happening in Knockout this year.
I love the throwback designs, and we talked about that a while ago. Them maybe potentially bringing back that like round 2, round 1 autos. Like having a throwback set. They have to do that, and I feel like they are going to do that. Maybe they just are waiting for UFC to, continue to get a bigger collector base, and then they'll give us some of that. But we've seen throwback autos or throwback designs to different products, right? Like, why would you not do a throwback to the specific sport like we see with round 1 and round 2? So that'd be really interesting, man, if they can continue to bring back these older ideas and older designs.
Yeah. Definitely a good idea. And as you said, if they could get the round 1 and 2 designs in there with the throwback with an auto, that'd be very cool. On card autos too, because we didn't get them in round 1 or round 2. CT, I'm on the typo king. My bad. All right. Last comment from CT. I got Gun, guys. Must be immediate though. Not that Aspinall got a free look around Gun before Gun KO'd him in round 3.
That's a good point. Like them having felt each other, who benefits more in that? Obviously Aspinall does, because it was a close fight. It's not like Aspinall he landed a few good shots, but it did seem like it was kind of we'd never seen Aspinall like that before. He's always been untouched, and like does he have the capability to be the nail? And it looks like we're going to finally figure that out, if the rematch plays out like we saw that first round-ish play out in that fight.
Yeah. All right, Zach. It's time for agree or disagree. Zach, I'm bringing the statement to this segment. We're talking about on-card autos before. We're talking about product releases. I'm putting out the statement down there that in a perfect collector's world, UFC would have only 3 sets released per year, and those sets would be spaced out at 4 months a pop. So you would have a release first in January, you would have another release in May, and then you would have another release September, and then that would end out the calendar year before the new release for January rolls around to the next year. So do you agree or disagree that UFC in a perfect world would only have 3 sets per year?
Damien, you know I love to cheat my way in these answers with some of these questions, and I'm basically doing it again. But I'm going to disagree with the amount of set releases, but I am going to agree with like the overall sentiment that we have too many releases per calendar year. And I feel like everyone's going to have a different number, whether it's 3, whether it's 4, whether it's 5. You know, we're probably really all going to be slightly different. I personally think maybe 5 products would be like perfect. And now I say that as somebody that like follows these products and makes content about it, and I love like new releases. So I'm maybe on kind of the higher end of that, with still agreeing that maybe we should tone it down a little bit. So yeah, I do agree with the overall sentiment. Like, we're in a situation like just right now, man. Like with Knockout, when did Knockout come out? 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I literally have a box of Finest right here that I'm gonna rip. That's crazy, dude. Like, that's way too fast. I don't think anybody would agree that that's good for knockout prices, or just good for the card hobby in general, for people to be having to spend money back to back like that. I don't think that's a really a good idea from the company, and for budgetary reasons. And it does also take a little bit of time for these huge cards to trickle out of these products. Like we talked about that huge Ilya Taporia, we talked about the huge quad auto. Like, those cards are kind of just now starting to pop out because the odds are so low that you're going to hit them. So I think if we wait like 2-ish to 3-ish months, somewhere in there, I think that gives us time to let the product breathe a little, but it still is enough products per year to kind of give the people what they want. But yeah, if you've watched this channel frequently with me and Damien, we said this before. We think there's probably too many products being released within a calendar year. What made you arrive on the 3 per year? Because that was I was curious to hear kind of your reasoning behind where you landed on the number.
Initially, I was thinking 4. I mean, if I was to run this back, I probably would say 3 or 4. I think 4 is obviously acceptable as well. Maybe a little bit more collector friendly in terms of, different levels of collectors. Obviously, this was just my own take from, this is what I talked about before, and I'm not going to give the longest answer because I don't want to repeat what I was just talking about before in terms of what I favor and what my philosophy is in collecting. But 3 or 4, I think, if I was to rephrase it, I think, 4, I could understand the argument for 4 spaced every 3 months. But yeah, 3, I thought was giving enough time. My biggest point with this too, I don't think there's enough collectors. I don't think the collector base is there for UFC at the moment to be having 5 and 6 products within the calendar year. Not only is the scheduling, as you just talked about, all over the place, which you would want to hope that tops get on top of eventually and fix. But even then still, I don't think there's enough people buying UFC cards to have that sustainable. I think the overall sentiment at the moment, I think if you were to look at the releases from the past 2 years, prices are slowly decreasing more than increasing. And that is not only in terms of a financial thing too, I'm sure, for a lot of different people and their financial situations, but I think it's the oversupply as well. Where I feel like we've had some people drop off from card collecting over the past 2 years as well within UFC. And we're getting more of an oversupply than we ever have. We're getting Finest out now, which is a 3-tiered, 300 card base checklist. So I just feel like there's way too much supply at the moment. As I said, I think 3 is a good number. If you want to say 4, then I can understand that as well. But I got to 3 because 3, you could evenly space it out, and you're having enough time for that price to sit and settle. And then you're still you can build the hype for the next product with like maybe the news coming 3-4 weeks out instead of this Finest, it's getting dropped in 2 weeks time. You can let that set for a little bit longer, and you can have that hype build up for the next product. And then it comes out, you have all the release buzz go on, and then it dries out a little bit, and then you have the next one come on again. So that was why I sort of set it the 3 to answer your question. But overall, I just think UFC cards, I don't think there's enough collectors. I don't think there's enough buyers to have so many products getting released at the time. There may be 5-10 years you want to see how the market's going, see where the collectability is at, see what the demand is at for UFC cards. You can build it up to 5-6 products then. But I definitely think for now, the UFC card collecting pool that we have, I think 3 or 4 max 4 products is enough per year.
Yeah, I respect it. I understand.
All right.
What are the people saying? What do we got?
What do we got? We have a few new comments. Down with that. I seen a throwback of Rose the other day on a relaxed rips doing knockouts. I want it.
A throwback. It was the 2012 knockout had a throwback design, I think.
Right.
Or it was 2025 knockout had a 2012 design that was a throwback.
Okay. Aspinall's left leg was.
We're back to Aspinall.
Back to that.
That's hilarious.
CT can't let it go. But we all know CT loves John Jones too. Going to take my daughter swimming lessons. Love the live, guys. Appreciate what you guys doing. Let you know what I get in my finest box. PS JDM will put Islam away and
no, sir. Oh, I'm we're gonna talk about that on our 322 collab. But dude, it's gonna be so fun, man. I cannot wait for that event.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the big events coming up, and we appreciate you, Arthur, for stepping by, mate. Thank you for coming in, hanging out with us. We appreciate it.
Oh yeah, fingers crossed. Some huge cards in there.
Yep. MMA rookie cards. If they do round 1 throwback product, they should use the same cheap paperback stock or those wood grade PSA or 5 or 6. Make it really authentic.
They basically did that with Chrome this year, though. We had a ton of defects on those, so maybe that's what they did. They used the round 1 printing press on the 2025 Chrome, Damien. That we finally figured it out.
Down with that. 3 sets a year only if they get rid of people buying all the boxes up selling sports on their rips.
That's a good point, man. Like I know we say like there may not be enough collectors, but like those whatnot breaks sell. It seems like they always sell, man. So maybe things are changing, dude. Maybe it's just how people are getting products is changing, but yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say.
Yeah, maybe. I think like with that dynamic of, breaking the popularity of that with a few more years. I mean, I'd love to get, I've talked about this before. I'd love to see the statistic of how many people are buying into breaks as to how many people are buying singles, for example. I think those sorts of stats would be very interesting. CT prediction alert: John Jones versus Alex Pereira. Headlines: UFC White House. Breaking news: John Jones is a billion to 1 guy. USA versus Brazil, as it should be. Hoist. Gracie agrees. JJ Trump dance returns.
Oh, dude, CT is on one today, man. CT is on one today, and I would love. We have to see John. You have to see John Jones at the White House card. Like, to me, it's a perfect like ending to his career, and he puts butts in seats. He is probably, the greatest American fighter of all time. We could probably easily agree on that, right? He's the greatest American fighter of all time, if not the greatest fighter of all time. Like, it's a no-brainer, man. We got to have him there.
Got to have him there. We'll see if it happens or not. Obviously, that's going to, I think as 2026 rolls around, if this 3i Atlas doesn't destroy us all in the meanwhile, Zach, but we won't talk on that. 2026 rolls around, I think obviously that build up to the White House is going to be insane. And if you have to be an MMA fan to sort of be pretty excited for that. All right, Zach. One thing I did want to take a look at was the UFC pay-per-view buyers recap. I didn't have any cards for sale. I talked about Tom Aspinall and my rated rookie selling too early. Maybe I didn't sell that too early. Now, in hindsight, maybe I sold that at the perfect time.
Yeah, you never know, man. You never know. You never know. That was a profit, though, right? You did take a profit on that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
Well, I sold in a lot. So, yeah. But you had a few Umar cards. Umar got the win.
Yep.
You had this cracked ice, which we spoke about, the rarity of this. People get slept on. And you also had this rookie prism.
Double Umar true
Red.
rookies in this one. Yeah, man.
Yep.
I mean, he gets the win, right? It was a somewhat entertaining fight. Some good scrambles. They were very active. Some good shots landed by either guy. Personally, I thought Umar kind of controlled the whole fight, but it was relatively close. It definitely wasn't like a steamroll or anything. Bautista's legit, man. He's a good fighter, and I think he probably earned some respect from a lot of people by his past wins and how he looked in there against Umar, who we know went toe-to-toe with Merab and really gave Merab a tough fight already. I did not sell. These didn't sell. I don't know, man. I don't know if it's these specific cards. Maybe they're too the print run is too high on these two. I don't know what's going on. Maybe my pricing is too aggressive, but I just don't want to give these away. He's Team Khabib. He has potential to win a title. He's only 29, Damian, which I feel like he's been around a while. I feel like people, maybe are overlooking the fact that he's only 29. He still has many years to improve and get better. So yeah, man, these didn't sell, but I'm holding them, and I'm not lowering that price too much because I do think that these could be big cards if he ever wins a championship.
Yeah, fair enough. And I agree. I think obviously you can't go wrong with graded rookie cards, especially the ones that are serial numbered. And obviously, especially when we're talking about this gem mint cracked ice, which was first ever cracked ice we had for UFC, and also a short print. So hopefully, as Umar pushes towards the title again, obviously that Mario, not many people even know who Mario Batista is, but obviously fighting in the MMA lab, good training partner and close friend also of Sugar Sean O'Malley, and he's a very, very skilled fighter as well. So tough fight. Umar got the win out. But yeah, as Umar obviously I think pushes towards the title again, I think that would maybe you'll get a bit more action on that one.
Yeah.
All right, we'll finish this off with just quickly. I want to talk about we can share. Originally, I was going to do top three. Probably not enough time to do top three. We'll do which fight. I mean, I think regardless, if we'll take what we'll do is we'll take out this.
Yeah, the obvious
that's going to be
answer.
everyone's favorite. The obvious answer. We have Arman versus Hooker, Dvalishvili versus Yarn 2, Royval versus Cape. Of these three events, which one are you most looking forward to end off 2025 UFC?
Well, you clicked on the one that I'm actually the most hyped besides 322. We got my boy Miktabik Orobai against Jack Hermanson. I am hyped to see that. It is a very odd matchup. Jack Hermanson coming down to welterweight. Miktabik going up to welterweight. Very interesting. Jack Hermanson's tough too, man. We saw what he did to Body Bags Pfeiffer. How is he going to make it at 170? The storyline there is very interesting for me, as well as Miktabik being, a rookie in this 2025 class. The main event's going to be really fun. We finally get to see Arman Tsarukyan in the cage. I feel like it's been, 5 years since I've seen him fight. Dan Hooker's a monster. He's a savage. Arman's going to have to finish him. He's not going to give up. And then we got Bilal and what was that? And Ian Gary right there, which is a really good matchup. And I'm interested to see how Ian Gary handles the wrestling of Bilal. I think he's going to be too sharp on the feet, but we'll see what happens, dude. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I definitely agree. This is my favorite one as well. I'm a massive fan of Dan Hooker. My fandom for Dan Hooker has grown exponentially in the last 12 months. Not only is he a funny dude, he's also clearly an absolute savage. In and out of the ring, I should say. But yeah, I'm really, really excited for this fight. I hope Dan Hooker can push towards that title. I hope he can finish Arman.
That'd be crazy.
And get himself in that title picture. I'm really looking forward. He's just one of those all or nothing guys, and I really appreciate that when a fighter's like that. I'm also pretty big on Ian Gary. I think Ian Gary gets a lot of hate for, understandably, I don't know why. Bilal, he was a former champion, and I think Ian versus JDM will be a very interesting matchup. Or even, you want to put Ian versus Islam, depending on how that fight goes.
That's a murder. That's a murder in the cage if that happens. Come on.
But yeah, and then obviously Alonzo Menafield, Volkan Ozdemir, this one will probably not go the distance to be safe. And then you have your boy, as you said, Miktabik. We have Spivak on there as well. Another heavyweight bout. That one probably won't go to a decision. So yeah, this one, of all the cards left on the rest of the year, other than 322, is going to be a good one for sure. Not too keen on 321. I know with Merab versus who's Merab fighting? Don't even remember. Oh, Yarn too.
Oh, 323.
I mean, this will be an interesting fight, but the rest of the card. We've got Pantoja, Josh Van, man. Oh, we've got Marino fighting. Tatsu Taira. That'll be Talbot. Man,
you changing now? You changing?
Oh.
And wait,
Jalen Turner, mate.
See, this is one thing. Whenever they do these events, they add a lot of names, like, you know, in the lead up to these fights.
Changing.
Yeah, so this is actually I didn't
know
I like
all Terrence McKinney
got added to it.
I like Terrence McKinney versus Chris Duncan. That'll be a fun fight too. Terrence McKinney, I met him at UFC 299. He was actually a really chill, nice dude. Got Jalen Turner coming back. Well, Macy Barber, she's actually really lovely as well. Met her. We have Cejudo, Tate, and Talbot. That'll be a fun fight. That'll be a very fun fight.
That's mega. That's mega because Cejudo has that name recognition to where if Talbot can look good against him and like get a finish, he's you know, he's already in past number 10, and I even think he could like call out number 3 or 4, you know, and kind of jump. He could jump a lot of people if he beats Cejudo.
We could get him versus O'Malley.
That'd be crazy.
Brendan Marino, I love watching him fight. That'll be a good fight too, those two guys. And then Pantoja is an absolute animal. We spoke about that before. We're going to speak about him, I think, on the next collab, which will be a bit of a tease there for people.
Yeah.
But and then Merab and Peter Yan. This will be an interesting fight too. Peter Yan's an absolute savage. So I'm changing 323. As much as I like Dan Hooker, this one's got too many good fights on it.
Yeah, looks like a great event.
All right, everyone. We'll just quickly check the comments before we leave, see if we've got any more. We do have down with that. John versus Tom, USA looking at USA versus England like the making of a country. It could be one as well, depending how quick they do the rematch of Gunn versus Tom. Bilal versus Gary will be fire. CT putting that one in there. MMA rookie guys, I think the White House event and the new 2026 Paramount deal will be good for UFC card collecting. Some of 2026 UFC events will be free on CBS. I think existing sports card collectors will give UFC a look. Very good point there from MMA rookie.
100%, man. We've talked about that a couple times whenever the first deal went through. And I think it's really going to help the average Joe who's like not into fighting. The free fights on CBS on cable, which a lot of people have in America, Damian, it's going to put a lot of people are going to see this maybe for the first time. And I think that it definitely could draw in some new fans into the space.
Bit of an update there too. I actually just remembered I saw this during the week. Paramount will be partnering for the international deal with Australia as well. So if you are in Australia 2026, you will officially be able to get a Paramount subscription, and then you get the UFC events as well. So that was only recently updated this past week or so. So that was very cool because I was mentioning before when this deal came out originally, it didn't involve the international licensing for Paramount subscriptions. So they've updated that now, and Australia will be included in the Paramount UFC deal, which is very exciting now. And obviously, speaking on that is going to be massive for the sport in general because UFC has grown a lot in even in Australia in the past 5 years. We'll get MMA rookie cards. UFC gambling should increase too. Yeah, definitely.
They go hand in hand for sure.
We have Skizik here getting a last comment in. Have a nice weekend, guys. Thank you for coming by, mate. We appreciate you, especially knowing you are on the other side of the world there.
Yeah, I'd love to have you, man. Thanks for the comments.
CT, Umar beats Merab. You don't get points for cardio. Announcers hyping Merab's cardio as Umar is punching him in the face. Merab's camp.
I'm with you.
Umar have another. Yeah.
That was very weird commentary in that fight specifically. It was very weird commentary to me, where sometimes whenever you see these analysts, man, I feel like they already have a narrative that, you know, when they're like thinking about the fight, they're like, oh, how's this go? What are we going to say? I feel like they just like get stuck on whatever narrative they've already built in their head before the fight. And then sometimes whenever the fight's playing out, they're like still spewing that when it's like, hey, dude, Like I know Merab's just had 15 takedown attempts, but Umar's stuffed almost all of them. And he's like, but yeah, dude, that's me salty also that Umar lost that fight.
Yeah. And don't forget he broke his hand like the first round there as well. Ian versus Edwards for Zac. Yeah, well, you know, we're getting Edwards versus Prates.
Yeah. He's beaten Prates, dude. He's coming for Ian Gary, and then he's taking that title, man. He's taking that title. It's gonna be a good year.
Oh, Zac's got high hopes if they both win. Yeah. Before y'all leave us, give one word for the day. Go.
Execution. That's my word.
Execution.
And not in the death side of
it. One word of the day. I'm going to leave us with congratulations, and I'm going to say congratulations to Zac and his wife. They are obviously going to be expecting very, very any day now. So congratulations to Zac.
Any day, man. Thank you so much.
Collab. So yeah, congratulations to Zac starting a new chapter in his life any day now. And obviously, once again, we are all praying for a safe arrival of the new family member. So at that note, thank you everyone for coming by. An hour and 15 minutes. I don't know how many likes we got, but it doesn't matter. We got 1,000 comments, and that's exactly
awesome.
why we come by here. And yeah, we appreciate everyone for stopping by, leaving your comments, and we hopefully see you on the next collab. We're about to hit record on the next collab for UFC 322. That'll be coming up over at Box Alarm Trading. If you are living beneath a rock, you are coming across us for the first time, check out the description in this video if you're watching this back, and go over to Box Alarm Trading where you can watch all of Zac's fantastic videos. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate it. We have a few congratulations here for you.
Thank
you. CT, down with that. We have WSH, THRNRB. Thank you guys. Have a good weekend.
What is that? Washington running back, maybe? Washington Thurn? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know what that is. But we appreciate you getting in there. Anyway, name your first Kudu.
Yeah. Not happening. Not definitely not.
I heard it's on the cards. All right. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you all. And we'll see you in here next time at Main Event Cards.
See you guys.